We're joined on the programme now by the chair of the Oireachtas EU Affairs Committee, Deputy Joe McHugh. Good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us, Joe. Thanks for taking the call.
Yeah, good morning, Greg, and thanks for the invite. Thank you.
Right, of course. I mean, you know, it's another leak, isn't it? It's another kite being flown.
Yeah.
The Mica scheme could include a €400,000 cap now, up from the €350,000 cap. It's very frustrating the way this process is being conducted, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Can't but disagree with that. Another figure thrown out, and we don't know what it means. We don't know the detail. It has to be brought to conclusion. But look, it looks like Tuesday week seems to be the deadline for going to memo. But I think we need to ensure that the detail's right this time, Greg, and that without going over old ground, and we've covered this extensively, whatever was done with the last scheme in the latter days wrecked the scheme. It gave it no chance whatsoever. So this time, whatever the detail, we need to fine tooth comb the detail on this scheme. Even if they put in a cap, it might mean nothing in terms of what they're doing back channeling and doing behind the scenes, because it's a very complex issue. Even throwing out a cap, all it does is stirs up a debate that maybe is not helpful. And
is it a distraction almost? Then is that what you're saying?
I suppose they're probably trying to find what would work, what won't work. Like there's a balancing act going on here. They're trying to figure out what would be a figure that'll be acceptable and where will it land. But that's not going to be the issue at the end of the day, because we're very lucky that we have a campaign group of people who have the experience now, they have the insight. They will know straight away whether this is going to work or not. And I would say the group will, there may be a cap figure, but they'll be looking at, does this include ancillary costs? Is there a scale in terms of the different scales for square footage, whether it's 138 square foot minimum, or does that end at a certain point? So all these issues have to be looked at, and we're lucky, we're fortunate we have the people to do that, Greg, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe I'm reading you wrong. You seem a bit frustrated with this situation, or less than optimistic with what's to come.
Well, look, I think people still need hope, and look, I am a glass half full man, and I always have been, and I'm not somebody who throws in the towel. Yes, I am frustrated. I'm deeply frustrated. The process now has reached basically. There's 6 people involved this time. There were 4 people the last time. You've Michael McGrath, Pascal Donoghue, Leah Varadkar, Darragh O'Brien, Michael Martin, and the AG Paul Galler. Like those 6 people are deciding this scheme as we're talking now. Them and their teams. Yeah, there is a frustration. I suppose maybe it's because I'm outside the loop. Those conversations, I was in the middle of them the last time.
Would be privy to the mood of it. You have to have an understanding of the direction of traffic here.
Well, look, in fairness to Darragh O'Brien, we're calling him Darragh O'Brien. I think it's O'Brien. Yeah. In fairness to O'Brien, I would, if I was to make a call on Darragh, like I think Darragh is batting. He is batting for the maximum here. I really do, and I think he's probably in the frustrated place as well. And I'm here to help him. I'm here to push for him as well.
So where's the resistance coming from? You're talking about a small cohort of people. Obviously, Pascal Donoghue controls the purse strings. Leo Varadkar's on the record with some of the mansion on the hill type comments that he's made. Is this where the resistance might be coming from?
I think that the resistance is coming from 2 departments. The one minister the last time, Pascal Donoghue, was in charge of finance and Deeper the last time. There's 2 separate ministers this time. I do think the resistance is coming from Deeper and finance. And that's at an official level. But at the end of the day, and I'll say it again, I've said to you before, Greg, like they're the permanent government, but this is going to have to be a political decision, and people are going to have to step up to the plate here. And that includes my own party leader, Leah Varadkar, and the Taoiseach, Michael Martin.
Much conversation about you and your future. I don't even know how you measure that. Who are you going by? Whether the Mica Action Group think this is a good scheme or not, where you decide whether or not you can back it or not? Where are you getting your guidance? Is that a personal call you might make?
No, I think there's a Well, I feel that there's a great working relationship. There is a level of trust between myself and the Mica Action Group, and maybe that's for years of working together and working through this. And they get it. They understand what's needed and what's not needed. So I mean, they obviously they'll have to make a call. I'll have to make a call on my own individual basis as well. But I mean, as I said to the group, and it was direct to the group on Monday when I made this, I said just directly to them, I said, if you're not happy, I'm not happy, because you're representing the homeowners, and that means what it means. It's exactly what it says on the tin. Like, I won't be back in the scheme, and obviously I have to consider my position.
Yeah, but how does that work? By way of a vote? And this is what ifs, but I just want to get it on the record and clarified. Yeah. This would be, if it goes to a vote, you weren't happy with it, you vote against it, you find yourself out in the cold then from the party, or do you cancel your membership of the party? What does your reaction actually look like if this is not an agreeable deal?
Well, look, I'll answer that question in 10 seconds, but I just want to, what I'm contemplating is that we'll get a good deal and I won't have to go down that road. But if I have to go down that road, and if there's a vote, I don't vote for the scheme, I lose the party whip, I'm out of the party. It's something that I've agonised over for a long period. And I know you've been asking me the question on the show at different times, and the reason why I presented it to the group on Monday, we're coming close to the end game, and if it can put extra pressure by me taking this position on the people to do the right thing, that's my motivation for. There's a
lot of people worked with you and supported you to get where you are today, and that's not in any way taking away from yourself. I hope you understand. I don't mean it by that. Have you consulted them on this? Because theoretically you could be letting a lot of people down.
Yeah, I'm in touch with my membership on this, and look, people have different viewpoints, and look, whether you're a Fine Gael person in the west of the county and not affected by Mica, they get the complexity and the difficulties of this one, and look, I had the conversation, Greg, to be honest. I know I was in touch with Johnny McGuinness yesterday morning, but I had the conversation with the late Bernard McGuinness during the summer, and we had this conversation, and look, nobody can say, Bernard's not here to say what he said then, but we had this conversation that if it's not going right, we need to do what we need to do.
He would back you, I think is what you're saying, and that conversation between you and he were private, but he would back you. Right. Well, we just have to wait and see what comes, what comes from it. There's an awful lot in there, as you say, as it relates to rental costs. All the other type of stuff. I don't know where it's going with the price, the difficulty in getting people to work on these properties, or the rising cost of materials and all of that. But I suppose we need a scheme in place, and then we can sort of start worrying about that perhaps. But for now, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks, Greg.
Thank you. All right, that was former Fine Gael Minister, current Fine Gael Deputy Joe McHugh, Chair of the Oireachtas EU Affairs Committee.